Welcome back to another episode of Skyrim Marathon. Today we're doing the list called Wunduniik Chapter 7. This is version 7.0.0 that just released on April 20th. We're looking at an install size of about 527 gigabytes, with 331 of it being the install size and downloads being 196. So you can cut that 196 out once you're done installing it. This list does include different graphical variations for your performance. So it has a community shaders version. It's got EMBs, a lot of different selections of EMBs, and then it's also got a custom installer where you can choose different INI files or different LODs, I believe, which I'll go ahead and post that on the screen here for you to see how I installed it. Keep in mind what you see on here is EMB generation is on. I noticed it while I was testing it just to see if the game started up fine, and I turned it off. So disregard that part. Today we're running the list without EMB frame gen, as that's consistent with all of the tests we run on this channel. No frame gen. It's bad for recording, plus for 4K, we don't get 60 FPS with the type of GPU that we use. So frame gen tends to be a little bit janky, lower than 60 FPS. I didn't do too much research into the perk system in this, so I guess we'll see it, and you guys can kind of observe and see what you know about the perk system from what I show in the video. We got Veldun UI as a default UI, but there are different UI selections as well. Combat's using BFCO. We got Sigma animations for first person combat, TK dodge, and then city overhauls is largely JK overhauls. So this is the little spiel that they usually use on their mod lists home pages. So I'll read that out to you guys. So Wunduniik is a comprehensive mod list for the Elder Scrolls Skyrim Special Edition, focusing on enhanced graphics, immersive gameplay, and extensive content additions. This mod list transforms Skyrim into a visually stunning and deeply immersive experience. It includes hundreds of carefully selected and configured mods that work together seamlessly. So key features: enhanced graphics, so high quality textures, improved lighting, and stunning visual effects. Gameplay overhauls, improved combat, magic systems, and character progression. Expanded content, so new quests, locations, NPCs, and equipment. And quality of life improvements is the UI improvements, bug fixes, and convenience features. There's a SKSC menu frameworks in here, and I looked at it real quick, and it's loaded up with a bunch of extra mods in there. So we'll pop that open for you to see during our gameplay as well. But I don't want to keep this going too long. I did get a few comments on my last video that this beginning part takes a little too long to get into. I know the poll that I put out there, most of you don't mind it, but we're going to try to just keep it short and see if we can find a good middle ground, because there are a good amount of people that did vote to shorten it as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Those of you who don't know Skyrim Marathon and it's your first time watching, I could go into a little bit of detail about it, but I would advise that you read the description of the video or description of the playlist that this video sits in. It goes over the whole concept of what we're doing here. But in short, we are running the mod list through a 2-hour time. Once we get into the world, a 2-hour time frame. So it mimics Steam's return policy. So basically you got 2 hours to play a game on Steam before you got to refund it. So that's kind of like what they determine is a good amount of time it takes to kind of determine if you like a game or not. So we go off of that. We keep it highly unedited. The only thing I edit out is crashes, really. And I state that there was a crash. I just don't make you wait through the restart part. So we're going to gauge off of 5 things: performance, combat, UI, visuals, and stability. See how it all comes together, see if the game crashes, if elements start to break and we got to restart the game. And then at the end, we give it a final score. Again, if I went through that too quick, you can either replay that section or you can read the descriptions where I told you to read. And you can see more information there. Alright, so character creator. I like this starting room. It's unique. Not a lot of lists have this starting room. In fact, I think this might be the only list I've played with this particular starting room. So we'll see what it looks like here in a sec. The character creator looks pretty good. Let's see if they loaded any presets. I like to see who, what they chose. I'm still yet to find a list that's loaded with some banger presets. I know that there are some pre-made ones on Nexus out there that they look pretty good, but I've never seen any mod list author implemented in there. Yeah, so I can already tell right now that the presets are kind of just kind of generic ones here. Okay, this guy is completely blue. Alright, so let's... No, I don't want this. Alright, we're gonna get this guy out of here real quick. Bring us back down to earth, man. Let's load a different preset to get him out of here. There we go. I do like this one. This is actually a pretty cool one that they preloaded in here, so I'll give them that. Let's try and work off of this guy here. We're gonna go with a Nord, I guess. Zoom out. So I can already tell this is kind of top tier graphical fidelity. I do like his tattoos on his face. That's very cool. So we're gonna expect kind of rough performance. Now I also would have put it in the beginning intro. I would have put up there the system specs, but basically the author specs for 60 plus FPS. You got on 2K is a 32 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM and an RTX 3090 is what the author is running. Recommended specs for 1080p play, 60 FPS is a RTX 3060 Ti and a i7 9700K. So that's pretty low barrier to entry, given you have to use a 1080p though, 1080p to run that. But 60 FPS at 1080p on a 3060 Ti is pretty good. Let's just take a look at the... I like the way he looks for the most part. Let's just look at the eye colors real quick. Let's zoom in. Good selection of eye colors. You can tell some of them are really nice, high resolution textures. This one here looks good. Let's just keep going through just to see what other ones there are, in case you guys like to have a specific eye color. Feel free to watch this section in slow motion if it really matters to you. Yeah, we got some Witcher eyes there. Okay, so I already saw a few that I would go for. Kind of like something more down to earth. Maybe something like this here. We're gonna name him Bjorn. He looks like a Bjorn. Alright, so welcome to Wunduniik. The initialization will proceed now. Please wait 5 minutes. So this mod list author implemented a lot of custom stuff that he made specifically for his lists. For like the startup time, like that notification there. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he also created a let's see where it says F10 show combo keys. I think he did that one as well. So it shows you there, okay, so the combo keys, special interaction, shift E. So that's like dynamic activation key, where you can like eat something right off the table or whatever it may be. E and B. You also got open animation replacer. That's good to know. Shift Y. Usually it's shift O. Parry attacks. And all that. And it also shows it for gamepads too, it looks like. Oh, no, it doesn't show. It's not a clickable thing. It's just you can fill in the gamepad buttons here if you want to. That's what it is. So, you know, once in a while you do come across mod list authors. Actually, pretty often you come across mod list authors that double as actual mod authors as well. Looks like they'll set you up for some success here. You can pick some stuff off. So, the cool thing about this room is during the 5-minute wait time that you gotta wait for everything to load, you can keep yourself busy with all the stuff you see here. This game does come with survival mode off. So, you know, that's cool. Book of Origins. Okay, you got Quest Journal Overhaul here. Raise those fists. I've never been able to walk away from a bar fight. Fists speak clearer to me than words. Skyrim is said to be the land where strength is tested honestly over ale and bruises. If these lands truly breeds the toughest brawlers, then I'll find them one by one. Okay, interesting. Okay, and Thunder Fury, blessed of the... So interesting, they kind of gave you some quests already. Outskirts of Dawnstar to investigate the area. Okay, and then you can get yourself set up with some armor here. Alright, so we'll do some of that. Okay. Grab some weapons. Let's see, do we have some magic? Nice. I like when lists keep flames, the flame spell in it. You know, like you know me, I love apostasy, but for some reason they got rid of flames and all those like channeling spells, which, you know, actually that's probably the most satisfying spells in Skyrim in my opinion. I wish someone would kind of make a perk tree or perk system that makes it viable endgame to use flame or those other channeling one like the sparks, because I know that eventually it becomes just too weak to keep using in the regular Skyrim. Okay, we'll take this blessing here, and if you want to see SKSE menu framework, that's what's loaded in there. So you got the BFCO here, critical hit tweaks, diagonal sprint, directional movement, dynamic interior fog, dynamic wind, equipment durability, first person FOV. I disabled it because usually it's a little too close. Horsepower, you got input manager, parry for all, STB active effects, widgets, simple follower framework, sky prompt, step up onto SKSE, TK dodge, and unblockable hits. Okay, smooth cam does not load any presets in here except for the Norden preset, which usually comes with the UI. So that's interesting. So we're just gonna rock it with like that instead of installing one, because that's just not the experience of the box for you guys. That would require additional adding into the MO2. But looking at this, doesn't look too bad. And then before you leave this room, just know if you run in there without checking, you're gonna end up in Helgen at the beginning, in the inn. So you gotta go to this dragon here. Honestly, this is probably the best starting room I've seen before. Prior to this, I think my favorite was starting in the Alien Ruins in Nordic Souls. But I like the style of this one. Alright, so we're gonna start off... Alright, we're gonna start off as a pilgrim at a shrine. At the Shrine of Azura. Yeah, I believe everything's already loaded in here. Man, I really like the way the graphics look though. So we're getting 53 FPS right now. Granted, we're in this little enclosed area, but the textures all look really top notch, man. Like, this guy looks really good. I don't know if it's the fact that it's 4K. It's probably more than that too. Oh, that leads me to remind you guys, this game comes with the save, say all these little auto saves on for some reason. So just make sure you disable it before you start playing, so you don't get snagged on it. And then you can go back and really pause the screen here. I'm just gonna scroll through it here. I don't want to go through each one because, again, I kind of want to quicken things up a little bit before we start playing. But this is everything that's in the MCM. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. It already switched our armor. You saw that. It switched it to like a pilgrim's armor. Okay. So open world, we just loaded in 47 FPS, 49. So I'm thinking hopefully it runs at least on par with something like Apostasy, especially since the system specs required, based on what I can read, kind of is gauged similar to those. I mean, I kind of like this smooth cam now. I don't know if this is the activated Northern smooth cam or if this is just smooth cam without hitting a preset. I think it's smooth cam without hitting a preset.
No harm shall come to you, for Azura has seen your coming, traveler. It was not curiosity, but fate that has led you here. Azura has given me the gift of foresight.
Okay, so you can see a little mismatch on the skin texture and the heads. This is very common for a lot of modded Skyrim lists. It's hard to narrow down your NPC replacers and then put in the actual your main skin mod to actually implement correctly with high poly head.
You must go to a fort. It is cryptic, I know.
Interesting too, the way she's the subtitles are all in this little corner here instead of going across the whole screen.
If they know this elven enchanter.
Okay, so anyways, she gave us a quest there. We're gonna rock our main armor here. Viking style. Okay, so Sigma animations. I believe there's no stance system in this. We got Simply Order Squad, or I think Swiftly Order Squad. We have a Bestiary. We have map, weight, and photo here, and then we have the level up and character here. I like that they start implementing this character menu in the tween menu. That's really cool. Let's look at the magic real quick. So we have prayers. So we should definitely do that. So there's a religion system in here. And then since we leveled up, we'll take a look at the leveling up system. Okay, so we have experience here coupled with static skill leveling, I believe. So we're gonna beef up the one-handed. Give our guy a fighting chance here. So it looks like a pretty robust perk system. Now, I don't have the knowledge to know all the different perk systems out there. You guys watching probably do. So I'm just gonna go through it a little bit, and maybe you'll get an idea of what it is. Especially you experienced Skyrim players out there, or modders. So I see the word adamant at the top, so perhaps it's adamant, or maybe it's just a coincidence. Because that's just a perk in itself, that's the name. So like you have a perk tree for horsemen, so more combat you do on horses, which is interesting. Sorcery, so that's one that I don't normally see too. Staves are more efficient. Yeah. Then you got restoration. Look at that restoration tree, it's massive. Look at all that. Okay, you got destruction, that's a massive tree as well. I'm just gonna skim through the rest of these. So conjuration, illusion, philosophy, that's a new one I've never seen before. Alchemy, speech, pickpocket, lockpicking, light armor, exploration, athletics, that's new. That's not vanilla stuff, man. That's all new stuff. Archery, and then I think we're going back around again. So that's the skill tree. So it's interesting. I'm seeing something there at the corner of my eye. Is it my shield? Interesting. So I'm like super zoomed in right now for some reason. So let's take a look at SKSE menu. Did we enable it again? All right, well, I don't know, but yeah, it's starting to cause issues, so we should stop messing with it too much. Let's just set it to something reasonable and then keep going. I believe I had this on a different list that I've been modding for a while, and when I did mess with the FOV too much on that FOV mod, it started messing up like some stuff in the game. I had to restart it, so let's not touch it from here. All right, so let's go this way. So we're gonna go clockwise today, but first of all, let's hit Winterhold since we're close to it, and then go clockwise. And we're gonna start our timer now. Again, I'm trying to stick it close to just 2 hours as intended, so wherever we land, the intent is to hit as many major cities as possible. But at the end of 2 hours, if we're close to another city that we want to check out, we'll hit it up, or a town. Otherwise, we'll kind of keep it close to the 2 hour mark once the timer runs out. 2 hour timer. All right. So one thing I noticed, it's a bold move from what I notice nowadays, but interesting. Okay. So what's going on here is when I'm trying to switch views, it's blacking out now. And I think that's because of what happened with the FOV mod. So I may have to restart the game. Yeah, so like I'm trying to go back to third person right now and it's turning into a black screen. Something messed up when I was up there. Before I even touched the first person FOV mod, I noticed that when I came down the steps there, that my axe was really close to my face and my shield was like on the very corner of the screen. So I'm gonna go ahead and restart the game, and we're gonna see if that issue goes away. Okay. Okay, we're back. Let's go ahead and see. We're gonna hit the POV button. Okay, all good to go. Yeah. Now let's look at first person. Yep, that looks good. Okay, and then we're just gonna take a peek real quick to see if it's enabled. I believe it should still be enabled. Okay, Yeah, we're not gonna touch it after that. All right. Let's go ahead. I restarted the 2-hour timer, so we're gonna do a fresh 2 hours from this point. Hopefully we can scale down the mountain from here. The weather looks pretty cool. I mean, look at the clouds up in the mountains like that. That's really sells you on the altitude. Yeah, we should be fine scaling down this way. You know, sometimes I have my moments where I enjoy playing Skyrim in third person, but lately I've been really enjoying playing it in first person view. I didn't happen to see anything in the MO2, at least from what I could tell the names of, for like a alternate death system, so we're gonna die once in here and see what happens. If we do die and have to load the save again, that's fine. I think that's not gonna cause any instability in a 2-hour time frame. It's like in the long run, it'll cause your save to get corrupted, so we're gonna roll with it. We're not gonna restart the whole game every single time. Oh, we'll see what happens when we die. We'll go from there. Okay, so this is the standard JK overhaul for Winterhold, but we're gonna see, you know, performance, how it holds up, and then also see how the textures look. So far, I'm getting 44, 45 FPS. This is kind of standard range that I get with this GPU in lists of similar level of graphical fidelity. So, whether it be Lorim, Apostasy. Okay, something's going on with the lights there. You see that? Lorim, Apostasy, even what was the other one I reviewed recently? The name escapes me, but the ones that are up there, they all get about mid 40s in a lot of areas. This guy looks like a true Viking, man. Let's take a look at the NPCs. Okay, Berna. Okay. I like this NPC replacer. I'm not sure the name of it, but I believe Apostasy uses it as well. Not to keep mentioning that, but it's a list that has good NPCs in my opinion.
Let me make this clear.
So this one has a nice selection as well.
No harm befalls the life.
Even this guy looks pretty good. We'll take a look inside the frozen hearth. See how the interior lighting looks. See how the hearth, how the inn looks, and then we're gonna head out.
Sorry, could you describe the smell?
Okay, so you already have the helmet toggle mod in here. As you can see, it takes it off indoors.
What did you do?
The lighting looks good.
I've already corrected.
It's not as bright as some other lists, but that's not a bad thing. Like this dim area does look pretty dim.
Don't worry about me.
The texture of the textures on the main character looks really good too. Down from the armor down to the skin, the eyes, the hair. And I'm really liking this default smooth cam that just came with smooth cam before you hit any presets. It's actually pretty good. Okay. Alright, let's head out to Windhelm. We got an hour and 55 minutes, so we're still fresh into the run. All right, we got our first combat. By the way, the default difficulty on this is expert. How difficult that really is, if it's as difficult as it sounds, we'll see. Okay, the wolf's not messing with us. We're not gonna push our luck just yet. We got dynamic sprint here. Yeah, graphics look real good. I like the depth of view too. The depth of view kind of keeps the nearby area kind of nice and crisp, but then the distance has like a nice soft blur. This here right here is I believe an added asset. I don't recognize this area. Yeah, what is this place? Who's this guy?
Need something?
Bill Hard. You look full of sorrow. Can I help you?
You would help a stranger just because he looks sad? My wife, she died recently, and
The wall textures behind him need a little bit of looking into.
We met back in Dawn,
but
she grew up.
you know, it is what it is. It's not a game breaker.
Stranger.
Yeah, we'll
All
see.
right then.
Okay, so this guy's house is like buried under snow almost, but looks like he can still enter it. And then there's another NPC, Winterhold guard here, and then Soreen.
Need something?
She's obviously a
Depends.
vampire.
Are you thirsty? Hungry? Both.
Okay. Yep, sky parkour as I thought. Yeah, look at that. That looks pretty good. Let's make sure photo mode is up and running so we get those thumbnails going. It's not the best shot, but okay, so it's working. All right, so we got a combat encounter here. Looks like we're gonna get into. We're gonna do some third-person combat, shield and axe. Okay, some interesting stuff going on there. Look at that. Sounds like Dragon Ball Z. Alright, so it looks like combat is a little... combat's interesting. It's a bit slow moving. Well, I guess I'm low on stamina. But it's got these dynamic slash effects. I think that's what the mod is called. And these wolves are giving me some trouble, man. So... Don't tell me I'm gonna die in my first encounter. The swinging is so slow. Okay, so luckily Luckily, it's a little quicker in third person. But that was some really slow swinging. That was a tough, unusually tough fight. I mean, wolves are not supposed to be that tough usually. But again, like I said, the list is on expert mode. We're gonna play it on the mode as intended. In case there's no death alternative, we're gonna save often too, especially before combat. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of the slash effects and the weird like Dragon Ball sounds that was happening as the wolves were trying to lunge at me. Kind of like takes away from the Skyrim vibes. But maybe those are easy to disable if you don't like them. The ice here is kind of a weird green color too. I do like this snow, like the wind here though that you can see. That's pretty cool. I never noticed wind that strong with the snow flying at you in this area before. The more I'm playing this preset, the more I'm thinking this is actually the Northern preset, not just a regular smooth cam preset. Yeah, next perk we put into our skill tree is definitely gonna have to be for healing, because that saps our mana really hard. Okay, this area is always brutal, man. They come at you so hard. Just trying to run by it, they come at you. Not as bad as that one time I had with this area, but still. Like even a wolf now, I'm a little bit of afraid to fight the wolf. Yeah, see that weird like lunge effect. Yeah, let's. Okay. That was not too bad. That was a lot easier. What blood mod is in here? Is it Sanguine Symphony? Yeah, it is. So we're getting 36 FPS over here, 37 FPS. It's a little bit rough. But still playable. And again, this is raw performance, and I have to keep it consistent across all my tests, because I already started doing them without frame gen. But I gotta tell you, when I had frame gen on accident, without realizing it, when I first booted the game up to test it out, it didn't feel too bad. It felt okay. So maybe you play with frame gen, it gives you a little bit more of a boost, if you're in the same scenario as me at least. If you got like a 5090, I think you'll be fine playing on raw performance. You'll also see though that during the setup process, I created the I selected the medium INI file, and I'm gonna be upfront with you guys about this experience I had with this list, because I downloaded it and reinstalled it 3 times before actually making this video. So the first time I did it, I selected everything kind of high quality, everything high INI. Left everything pretty much default, and the game ran like super bad, like dropping below 30 FPS near Falkreath. Now I only tested for like 5 or 10 minutes, right? Because I want to do the main testing first impressions, kind of doing the 2 hours on camera with you guys. So I was like, okay, I gotta reinstall it. How do I get that pre-installer thing to pop up again? So what I did was, there's probably a better way to do it, but what I did was I actually just deleted everything in the modlist folder except for the downloads folder, and then I went to Wabbajack and re-downloaded the list. And what it does is it starts installing the list again and uses all your downloads you have already for it. And then you open up the MO2 for the first time, and it allows you to pick different presets. So the next one I did, oh, the sound effects are really loud. You can really hear that waterfall. So the next thing I did was I clicked on, the next time I installed it, I clicked on community shaders. Well, not community shaders particularly. I clicked on like suggested, based on your system specs, it does all the selections for you. So I did that, and it did a community shaders version of the list. And that installed, but then it kept crashing, like within a few minutes of gameplay. And so I deleted that again, and then I re-downloaded it or reinstalled the list. Then I just selected everything default except medium INI, and so this is an EMB version of the list, custom EMB that's based off of Cabbage that was tuned for the list. So at first it was basically this with the high INI is the only difference, and the second time around was community shaders. Third time around was medium INI. These wolves are not so much of a challenge now in third person, huh? That's a relief. Alright, so we got quick loot. So we're gonna see if the compass holds up. I'd be impressed if it does. I'm still waiting for the day I'm proven wrong and I run a full 2-hour thing with the compass not going missing with this scenario with quick loot on. $36, $37, $41 FPS. A little bit of hitching, but not too bad. It's got Dova jump. It's my favorite jump animation. Dynamic sprint stop is not my favorite though. Dynamic sprint stop is a little weird how you slide like that. Again, this is all preference though. I mean, some of you like it, so it's all preference. A lot of things I try to review at the end is based off of preference, so you guys need to look at the video and give yourself a score. I try to be, you know, non-biased about a lot of stuff, but again, just in case I'm unintentionally being biased towards certain things, these videos are meant for you to kind of score it based off of what you see. That's why it's 2 hours unedited instead of making like an edited video that makes it look good. I try to give you the truest representation of the list for you to decide for yourself, and then gauge your score off of whatever you see there. Base it off of mine or gauge it next to mine and see what you come up with. At least that's what I always say. Alright, so let's go take a look at the Palace of the Kings. We'll take a look at the inn. And then we're going to head out to Windhelm and see if we can hit Windhelm next. We'll try to keep everything as tight as possible. Hopefully we get through the 2 hours. Get to see a little bit of combat, but also not focus too much on combat, but more on exploration and performance. See how everything holds together. So far the UI is pretty good. It's pretty standard. It's got that everything up on the top left there. And then it's got your weapons that you're using on the bottom left there. Veldun UI is pretty awesome. And I like how they incorporate the character menu here. Yeah, and then also the bestiary. And then the map and all that. It's a pretty standard flat world map. I still want to see a list again with that same one from Bottle Rim. That map was amazing, man. That should be a new standard in mod list, is that map.
He's against us.
He knows that. They all know that.
Alright, let's see Ulfric.
Speak with Garmar. He'll size you up and see where we...
That is a good looking Ulfric. Very real, very like aged and battle hardened looking.
You think I need to
Big fan of that Ulfric.
stronger message?
If by message you mean...
I'm not much of a strategist, but Lord Ulfric listens to my counsel
City
always.
of leading him in disgrace to make a more powerful state.
Yeah, good mod choices.
Start this war in earnest then.
Soon.
I still say Repeatable love. Give that king for it.
Torrid was good.
Alright, so we got a katana right now. We're gonna use the katana a little bit in first person next. Again, it's Sigma Animations. If you ever watch my show, you know I'm not a huge fan of Sigma Animations. They've usually had bad hitboxes, but a lot of updates have come out with the mod list author or the mod author that says it was improved. So we're gonna try it out on this list. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it plays.
Let me know if you need anything.
How can Elsa hate the Dark Elves when she knows so little about them? See you around, handsome.
Yes?
Hey, this guy, he's my twin.
Let's not waste any time.
Okay, hey, look, I got this guy following me. I'm like the realistic looking version of him, and he's like the high fantasy version. Nice, and he just followed me just because. Let's see here. What's the what's the button for getting them to follow you? I don't know. Let's set that up real quick. Now that we have a follower, swiftly order. What was you before? You was show stats. Okay. The lighting, yeah, the lighting looks good. And so far the sounds are really good. Like the waterfall is really loud.
I've been a bit out of sorts since since our daughter was taken from us.
Okay, shows you some screenshots. So that was me practicing earlier when I started the game. Did a couple screenshots. So that was me already inside of, I did an alternate start inside of Whiterun as a homeowner. Just to make sure that it wasn't gonna like crash within seconds of playing it this time around. And it seemed to be stable enough after 5 minutes of play that I went ahead and started the video and created a new character with you guys. Hour and 33 minutes left. We're gonna hit up Riften, and then we're gonna head over to Whiterun from there. Okay, FPS needs a little bit of time to catch up here. It was like 15, now it's 25. We're at 100% usage at 23 FPS right now. So something is caching or something is loading here, because earlier on the way in it was high 30s. Okay, 37. All right, it's getting better now. We're gonna let nighttime kind of come towards us a little bit for this part, and then just to see how night looks. In fact, oh, okay, interesting. There's no modern weight menu. All right, so this is the one that comes with Veldun, which is pretty cool. It's just a skin over the vanilla weight timer. Okay, so this is nighttime. Do you have torches at all? No. Oh, there's my dude right there. So the sky looks pretty cool. Let's look at it in first person. It is kind of dark to watch like this though, so we'll just advance time a little bit more. Okay. So yeah, the nights are pretty dark in this list. Which, you know, some people actually prefer it that way. This armor right here though, like this is like the typical like Skyrim armor, right? This guy is a typical Skyrim dude too with his big beard. This looks really good. Even like the trees and everything here look really good. I gotta take a photo of that actually. Get out of photo mode. Every time I just hit escape and it doesn't happen. Hold on, sorry. So like, no. And then now escape works for some reason. Yeah. I set a hotkey for photo mode earlier, but it wasn't taking. My usual hotkey, which is this. There's a modifier key needed. No, I don't need a modifier key. I guess I'll use one. Okay. Can you disable that? Unmap. There we go. Okay. Alright, now I can take photos a lot easier. Okay. Alright, so, I mean, you're up there with graphics right now, right? This is probably one of the best looking lists. It's up there with one of the best looking lists. This is like top tier level graphics. But, the FPS is definitely matching that, because it's at 28 right now. I think because how lush he made this area, it's not usually this lush. It looks amazing though. I mean, don't get me wrong. Parallax walls. I mean, these walls always look really good. Even the trees look amazing. But you need some power to back this up for sure. You'll be doing okay though at 2K. At 2K with the same hardware, you'll be doing fine. I mean, literally half the pixels, right, at 2K. So as long as I'm running close to 30, you're running close to 60, theoretically.
Are you here to spit on our traditions?
No, I'm not.
Down our sacred trees? Huh?
32 FPS. Yeah, beautiful area, but it's taxing on the FPS. I'm curious to see how taxing like the area near Solitude will be, near Morthal.
We need to find our way to
I have a feeling it's gonna be pretty rough.
Why are we even going to a wedding?
Alright. We're gonna try first person again. Yeah. The hitbox is not working too well again. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know about Sigma animations. It's also too... He swings it a little bit too weird, like too much, man. Like flying it around all these different directions. I mean, just do the usual swing of the sword. You don't have to be like Zoro about it. Over stylized, I guess I should say, in my opinion. Some people are a fan of that though, so I ain't judging. Just don't judge me on my opinion of it either. But I just feel like the sword play in particular, oh well, the axe play too, is over stylized on Sigma. Look. Pretty rough though, trying to fight at that low FPS. Good thing I got some help now. Interesting.
Forgive I am Alexa. By mine own proclamation, I am a proud seeker of the curs you see before thine own privy. Dost thou knowest? They art an abominable coalition of miscreants and vagabonds alike, the dregs of society. Unmatched brutality. Their whims shall only be satisfied with the downfall of civilization, demolishing the very foundations of each kingdom and empire.
This is an interesting character.
Distinction.
I've never seen this one before.
Behind the countless common
Alexia.
peasants. They art naught but ants compared to their leader. Charismatic enough to enthrall countless, a will potent enough to govern all, and wise enough to direct his ambitions with frightful accuracy.
Who is this person?
Only in words, but tales of this exalted figure erupt from the tongues of each of the misbegotten. They are filled with such reverence for their leader that stories alone impart the knowledge of the influence he commands. The legends of his character grant me but one purpose, to seeketh his head. Not all serpents are so devout. I promise thee that upon our next meeting, one so weak-willed shall be found.
That's an interesting NPC. I think if I was doing a full playthrough, I would kind of dig into that a little bit more. I like this dude right here. What a random encounter. Bart !K, the Norse god. I've never seen a name with a question mark in it before. It must be like maybe something in translation, from a language translation, converted it to a name it's not supposed to be. Alright, we're gonna do two-handed combat here. Let's see, Sigma. That's not bad actually. I like that one. That one's good. Simple chopping swings. The FPS is really kind of rough right now, though. This area is really taxing. I gotta figure out how to power attack too. Is it one-click power attack or is it simple power attack? Not one click. Okay. Now, is it in here? Power attack, power attack. Is it in here? Power attack key. Okay, input type, action, power attack. So what's the button? Here, okay, here. I think we're onto it. Mouse 5. Okay, so if you're watching this, you gotta set your power attack key. Okay. I think I did. I think I did it. I don't know. Power attack, mouse 5, tap, press. Maybe it's press. No? Okay. Huh. What is this? Ignore. Mod action. Ignore. Mouse 3. Okay. No, that's not doing anything. Enable power attack. Okay. Power attack. Yeah. Mouse 3. Mouse 5 is the button I usually put it to. And then I don't see a save button here. Oh, update mapping and save. Okay. There we go. We got it. All right. Thanks for bearing with me on that one. But we got it. So yeah, you gotta go into SKSC menu framework and set your power attack key, guys. Alright, let's do some third-person combat. Yeah, third person is a lot more satisfying on this list than first person for me. (31, 32 FPS). Yeah, definitely definitely want a higher end GPU to run this on 4K, guys. It's not as forgiving as like Lorem or Apostasy was, but though you gotta take into account what I reviewed today for performance is based off of the specs that I picked out, right? So if you can kind of tweak around and find the good sweet spot for yourself based on your hardware in that setup process, you're gonna have a totally different experience than me. Yeah, wolves ain't no problem anymore. I thought wolves are gonna be an issue, especially with this other guy with me, my little doppelganger. We're gonna be just fine on this marathon run. If we can pick up one more follower, we might be able to get into some more combat. We do have to die on purpose just to see if there's a death mechanic to this game too. Hour and 15 minutes to go. I think we're covering a decent amount of ground. Alright, we got something going on. Oh shit, no, they're high level. Speaking of high level. %25 more damage. Don't mind if I do. They're still coming after us, huh? I like that power attack. was pretty satisfying. I'm feeling confident enough to tackle this little fort over here if they're high enough, if they're around my level. There he is. All right, dude, let's go. Come on. Oh my god, I got a lot of stuff going on here. Okay, so hold on, let's turn this music down. It's a little too intense. Okay. I got a lot of afflictions here that I didn't catch on to. So, unfinished business. Your lack of focus hinders your learning. I've never figured out what this causes this. Can you comment in the section if you know what this is? But like, I played other lists too, and I don't know why I get an unfinished business debuff. I can't get rid of it. Drink alcohol for the stress. Weakness to drain spells because of a full armor set. Interesting. So I'm getting penalized for having heavy armor, maybe? It's unfortunate. Yeah, and you can tell my stamina doesn't ever come up. Do we have any alcohol on us? We have one white wine. And my Norse god friend, he keeps running away. Come on, dude, we're gonna attack this base here. Come, let's go.
I'm one. Back off. That's close enough.
This is pretty rough though, man. This is a very demanding list. Even with the medium INI, everything is very, very sluggish. Like even that attack didn't really register on the animation. That guy was dead before I even completed the animation.
I think you're bleeding.
Got you cornered, man. Got you cornered. I can't wait till Dismembering Framework actually comes out with the update that lets you chop people in half. That'd be crazy. Especially with a two-handed sword.
You picked a bad time to get low, friend.
Yeah, maybe the dynamic slash effects are growing on me. I mean, I still kind of prefer it less flashy like that. I don't prefer to see my slashes. Like, even in precision, I turn off weapon trails usually when I play it list personally. I don't know where my follower is. Where is he? Yeah, even Novice was more forgiving than this. But arguably this is probably like up there, maybe in a lot of ways even higher end than Novice graphics. $30 FPS. It's playable. I mean, you can play like this. Unplayable would be like you're a sub 20s or mid 20s or low 20s most of the time. But like if you're above 30 with raw performance, raw rasterization performance, then it's playable. It's not like ideal, but like I wouldn't drop the 2K resolution on a 4K monitor to experience 60 FPS. because it would just ruin the look of the game, in my opinion.
Something to sell? Come and talk to me.
Let's take a look at the textures as we approach.
Someone do something.
Someone's getting attacked by a dog.
I'm still here.
You can look at the horses. Yeah, it's a pretty good horse. Got little baby horses here. Let's try a horse out. Okay, you know what? Yeah, this is the horse mod that I've seen it on another list before too. They're just very like skinny horses. The textures don't look bad, but the horses are they're like the exact opposite of the Skyrim horse. The Skyrim horse is like a thick, furry horse. This is like a short-haired, scrawny horse. Alright, take me to jail. At least I'll get into Riften. That's one way to get in. Most jails allow you to serve your time by sleeping in your cell's bed. You can also try to escape. Your equipment can be found in a personal belongings chest somewhere in jail. Okay, that's alright. I'm just gonna sleep it off. Ugh. Alright, so Riften. We're getting 28 FPS in Riften. 32 now. It's going up a little bit.
I presume you're bothering me.
It's been overhauled.
Imperial dogs. There's nothing too low for them.
Riften market really lively. Alright, we're gonna go visit the Jarl real quick and then we'll head out. Yeah, this is nice interior lighting. Right, sun rays coming through. The light kind of bouncing off the character and casting shadows correctly. Nice high poly head custom NPCs.
Welcome to Riften.
No offense, but you're not looking so good.
You feel they'd have you believe
You don't want to talk
it's
to
all
me.
lies. Just
Oh,
thugs,
I'm sorry about that.
vermin.
Can I help
creeping
you?
around the rat way.
Okay. Now where did I put those spiders?
Yeah, all the textures look really good. Yeah, so far so good. Now, if I was gonna keep this list and play it permanently, what I would do is I would either reinstall it, like keep my save on the side, because the save should still be compatible if you pick A and B. But I would
I'm really getting
put my save in a safe folder,
when you borrow the money.
and then I would reinstall again, and
I don't know you. You and Riften looking for trouble?
Jason Momoa,
Next
Hey, you.
Aquaman.
Here.
No, Aquaman, I'm fine.
Another run-in with
I would reinstall it and see if I can tweak a few more installation things to make the game run smoother. I thought I did a good comb over without sacrificing much because, I mean, we've played lists that we've played lists on their ultra presets before, demanding lists as well. And so you know, even Skyground Chronicles, I believe we did that with. So it's like,
Come and browse my stall.
it's not something I kind of thought I had to do too much because I thought this would kind of play on par with those. Especially, I thought I was acting a little too reserved, giving this too much of a leg up, choosing the medium INI. But then again, with Novus, I did dumb it down to a medium INI as well, I believe. But that was about the extent of what I did with Novus. Or maybe I even did a high INI. I gotta go back and see. You gotta go back and see that video if you want to see for sure. Okay. We're going to Whiterun. Gonna cut through the forest here. Do I have any other weapons to choose from? Steel dagger. I guess we could try dual wielding. That's interesting. So he's only choosing to swing with his axe and ignoring the whole flow of the sword in his hand. And when I press the right trigger or the right mouse button, it just does a dual block. So let's try. Okay, it works like this in first person. It's a really, really, really rough FPS to be playing this game at, though. 30. I mean, like I said, it's playable, but it would warrant a reinstall for me if I were gonna keep playing it permanently. These areas are not normally like areas that are hard on the game either. Like, I get it if this was happening near Solitude on the way to Morthal, because that happened all the time. Or the area near Falkreath was pretty rough too on a lot of lists. Especially Novus. It was really rough on Novus. Let's switch up the... Oh my god. Okay, so dual weapons works better if you have a sword on the right and an axe on the left. With the axe on the right, it wasn't using the sword in the animations in third person. I believe the animations is For Honor and Skyrim animations for BFCO, as you may have noticed already if you kind of know how these animations look. But when I was combing through the MO2, that's what it was. And the cool thing about BFCO is you can jump attack. It's not doing any damage. My Norse god friend, he doesn't really stick around me. Let's see what happens. Does he come with me? You gonna follow me? Keep an eye on him, see what happens.
Here for the skooma? Head around inside. There's a trap.
Oh, it's a Skooma Den. Interesting.
Hey there, friend. If you're looking for a fix, you're at the right place. Just head on down the track.
Just a bunch of druggies over here. Interesting. Well, if you're looking for a fix in this game, go there. There's a trap door apparently. You can go get your fix over there. We'll try some first person animations. Look at that. Totally missed. Oh, we died. Okay, good. We need to die at some point to see what happens. Okay, so far it looks vanilla. It's just gonna load a save from earlier. Okay, we're back at the Skooma Den. Let's go ahead and... So that's all. That answers the one question, right? The question was, is there an alternate death mod? The answer is no. There is not one. Also, first-person combat, again, not a big fan of it. I don't know why I was doing like no damage to that that wolf. And then also, like, I was missing like crazy with those first-person animations. I'm better off in third person. So keep that in mind. I think this list, whether it intends to be or not, is probably better for you third person. Like, I do no damage to that thing. Alright, they're doing a little bit of damage now. Anyways, it's for you people who like third person combat. That's probably what you're gonna be satisfied with in this list. First person would be kind of a secondary thing, but something just feels off with first person. Plus, BFCO with 4 honor combat is, you can't go wrong with that. I mean, 4 honor combat, 4 honor in Skyrim is like, probably, in my opinion, the most grounded, suitable combat animations for third person for Skyrim. It matches the theme of the world a little bit more than other, more like exotic type of combat mods or combat animations. You can already see this battle is going way different in third person than it did in first person. In first person, it was a hot mess, and we died all of a sudden. All right, let's brighten it up a little bit. Let's go back to. Let's go about 14 hours ahead. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. All right. Look at these added enemy types. Alright, we're gonna try our hand at first person combat one more time before we dog it too much. We're gonna see how it plays out. Oh, these guys are peaceful. Okay, we're not gonna touch these guys. Oh yeah, there we go. So there's no wade in water in this list. You can run like usual in water. I like how loud the waterfalls are though. Immersive. Neilheim discovered. Okay, so this is an area I've never seen before. Where's my dude at? I know Neilheim, this area is a bandit tower usually, but I never saw that down in the water before. This guy is taking those hits. Hopefully he doesn't one-shot me. He's like higher level than me. I'm gonna keep the attack up. Keep him stagger locked. Oh, that guy's about to take me out right now. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Oh, man. I was right. Took me out. I went into the menus just enough to delay my fate. But he still took me out in the end. "46 more minutes." Based on my experience, I don't think we're gonna make it to Solitude today on that roundabout. Within the time frame. If we're lucky, we'll make it to Dragon's Bridge. So we're getting 29 FPS right now in these outlying areas from Riften. We're not going to go back and get revenge on that area because we got a lot of ground to cover.
Bandits attack and ransack my craft.
Yeah, this guy. This guy's obviously lying. You know what I'm doing. I played this before. That's an ambush. Pressing the hitbox, sorry. You see how it's hitting sometimes? Now we're getting like a locked 30 FPS almost. It almost seems like it's not even going much higher than that. These are about as good as it gets though for graphics for Skyrim. You take the other one, I'll take this one. Come on, dude. You're not taking any of them. Where are you? Stop standing around. There you go. Get involved. Yeah, dude. Dual wielding or even just in general, the third person combat is satisfying in this list. It makes up for the first person combat. You just again you have to be a third person combat player for Skyrim to enjoy this list. I think if you're mainly a first person combat player, I don't know. Maybe you'll like it more than I am, but I play so many different mod lists that there are ones out there that give a better first person combat experience. Nice waterfalls. I really like the sound effects of the waterfalls on this list. It's so loud. And this whole area right here this is all custom right here. You see all these bridges connecting around the waterfall? This is not usually here like this. Let's go check it out. I'm sorry, I would turn on the waterfalls, but I think it's part of the experience of this list. You gotta hear it the way it's intended. Alright, we got a crazy beast over there. The hell is that? It's like a Daedric demon. Oh shit, he's right next to me. What the fuck? Okay, come on, Norse god. Take him down. Let's see the battle. I'll shoot him from afar. Oh, dude, he's weak. I thought he was gonna be stronger than that. Dude, that current is so strong. Darkwater Pass. That sounds familiar. I'm pretty sure there is a Darkwater Pass around here. It's just been modified. This area around has been modified so much. Sorry guys, we're gonna check this out because I'm sure you want to see something different, right? Not just the same old cities. Or same old path. You want to kind of see the new stuff that's on the list. So we're just gonna run up here real quick. See what's up here. Oh, look at that. I scored a nice sword too. Yeah, that's better. In fact, now we can do dual wielding katanas. Sorry. There we go. Wow, it goes up a lot. I don't know if we want to go all the way up there, do we? Alright, let's go check it out. Real quick. Ah, man, I've never seen this many bridges before. On any list. This is really cool. Oh shit, we almost fell off. Oh yeah, look at that. We found a bunch of alcohol for that debuff that we had earlier. Like workbenches? What is this place? So interesting. Hmm. Really scenic area though. I feel like a tourist sightseeing. Alright, if only we had a paraglider. Alright, we're gonna try and weasel our way down this quickly. We can't go zigzagging on these bridges. It's gonna take too much time. There we go. This should be faster already. Do we still have that debuff? No, it went away. Nice, like, thick forest over here. You definitely got to have the hardware to back it up though, because I'm getting 29 to 30 FPS here in this forest. It's kind of amazing though that the system can hold a steady 30 for the most part, instead of dropping lower than that. It's almost like my hardware knows like the bare minimum that I would tolerate, and so it's holding that line for some reason. Yeah, right here. If you stop and look at this forest here, I think I'm taking so many pictures because with these lists that are really high in graphical fidelity, like the picture taking is just you can't resist. Look at that. This is probably the best, one of the best iterations of the forest I've ever seen. I mean, it's only 3:30, but like, it's all dark because of these trees being so tall. Beautiful forest. Really nice. I really like the way it's taxing on your hardware. Don't get me wrong, it's very taxing. There's a trade-off, right? But to some, the trade-off is worth it. And if your hardware can back it up, there's no compromise. But I think the landscape overhauls that they chose for this list are perfect, are beautifully done. We don't have much time, so we're gonna test a little bit of combat out. Oh, this
here's a tall. Hold it.
this carriage is like kind of out of place, huh? Try out the different armors. Let's see how this armor looks. Yeah, looks like a Viking, huh? Yeah, I think personally, my personal taste, I love the combat animations in third person. It's really good. The only thing I would get rid of if I could, easily, would be the dynamic slash impacts and whatever. I think maybe the precision weapon trails, just to kind of like give it a more realistic type of experience. Where's my guy at? And I get him in a screenshot too. So far, so good, though. I mean, there's 24 minutes left. No crashes. And the compass is still here. Nice open fields. Man, I really love the landscaping choices.
Won't get away from me.
I've never seen this. I've never seen a giant try to run away here.
You're making me angry.
I think when I was messing with the wheeler settings earlier, I think I shouldn't have messed with the time. Putting it down to 0. It causes some weird stuff to happen.
I'll tear you to pieces.
This is probably the longest combat situation I ever had with this giant before. Let's finish him off, finish him off. Nice.
You handle yourself well.
What's going on here?
Make for a decent
What
shield,
the
brother.
hell? What happened there?
All right then.
Alright, I don't know what that was all about. Maybe something to do with alternate camera. If that's what they use. Alternate conversation camera. I personally use on a different list I play, Oblivion camera, whatever it's called, Oblivion something camera. Oblivion conversation camera maybe. That one has been going really smooth. It's a lot more simplified than this. I don't know where it is. Nice Whiterun outskirts. Really cool. The lanterns here too. I've never seen that before. People like do a lot of unique Whiteruns. You think you've seen all the overhauls and then you'll play a list and you'll see something new. Whiterun is usually the biggest showcase for like a different type of overhaul. I think Winterhold is usually very common. You'll see like the same type of overhaul. Except there was one list I played that had a really different one. I think it was what was it? Not True North. It was something North. It's on my playlist. That one had a different Winterhold, which was kind of cool.
We'll pay whatever it takes, but we must have more swords for the Imperial soldiers.
Okay, we gotta jam through this area because we got 18 minutes left. FPS pretty rough in this area. We're getting 25, 28 FPS. Now it's going up to 36.
You want me to lock you up?
Again, if you want to see the selections I made, you go back to the beginning, pause the screen, and just keep in mind I'm playing with everything except everything's shown there except I turned EMB frame gen off. Also, based on the recommended specs for the based on the recommended specs for the list, I think my GPU is positioned well enough to be playing this on what I'm playing it at right now. Taking a little while to load here. Okay. Well, something's telling me that it must have froze here, and I'm gonna have to intervene. We'll give it a few more moments. Okay, I'm gonna shut... Where did I save? I'm gonna shut the game off, and then I'll restart it, and I'll pick it back up where we left off. Okay, we're back. I'm gonna count that as a crash, because basically there was no choice but to restart the game. But luckily we saved right before we came in here, so let's just continue where we left off. I'll restart the timer. There's 16 minutes left. So hopefully we'll see how much ground we can cover. But I mean, we gotta try to stay true to the theme of the series, which is 2 hours to decide a verdict on whether we like the list or not, or what we're gonna score it. Yeah, there's some top-notch like graphics that we're getting out of this. 45 FPS. The sounds are really good on this list too. Like they really put a lot of effort into making sure the sounds pop where they should. You can hear the fire. Yeah, Jarl. The Jarl looks good too. The NPC selections, the textures, they're all really good. And I haven't found really any missing textures on the NPCs or the armors or anything like that. And also, the armors all have S&P physics, and they all look really good. The helmet coming off, like, as you go into interiors, is really seamless. It's not bogged down by like a long animation or anything. There's a few hiccup areas, something to do with that camera mod, something to do when I was talking to Ayla earlier outside. It was glitching out. And then in the beginning of the game, we had to restart it because that was kind of messing up too. I don't know what that was. Usually we stop by Bellathor's, but I think for the sake of time, we're gonna keep going.
You got rocks in your head? I know your family's honor is important to you.
Let's skip ahead. 14 hours.
But we can't afford it.
Maybe a little bit more. There we go.
It took me weeks to find that thieves' den. I can't stop now, and I can't get the sword on my own.
I don't have any money. You better give me 5.
Alright, so Whiterun's running pretty smooth right now, 44 FPS. You know what the performance of this list and the visuals of this list remind me of? Is Mages and Vikings. A lot of similarities in their choice of like lush greenery. Mages and Vikings do have the Sky Islands though, which is something this one doesn't do. But performance wise, it ran very similar. Now Mages and Vikings came out with an update recently that I think improved performance according to what they said, according to the change logs. So I definitely want to do that on the next, when I start doing the Skyrim Marathon Redux series, where I redo the list that have gone through major overhauls. But that one had really good visuals as well, and even the name I gave it on the title of the video was I think visuals over performance, something of that sort. And it sounded like kind of a negative comment, but really what it was exactly the situation that we have here, or similar to it, where the visuals are amazing, but it's at the sacrifice to performance. At least in the same spec that you're playing at with me on 4K with a 9070 XT. Now there's so many variables you have to consider with these lists that the score at the end is based only on my situation. For the most part, some things can be said across no matter what hardware you're playing on. But when it comes to performance, that score is highly dependent. That loud waterfall again. The waterfalls I think are more, they're rushing more. They're not calm in this list, which is kind of cool. I didn't know that was a mod. But they're like much more aggressive waterfalls. Really cool. I like that. That's a cool touch I've not seen yet. .34 FPS here. They got that cool player home over there. I've yet to actually buy that in any of my playthroughs. Finish him off. Come on, do it. One more hit. There you go. $15,000 gold. Yeah, I really like this. BFCO, like... BFCO with For Honor and Skyrim. I gotta say, I've never played a list that implemented it so well. So aside from those dynamic slash effects, I would say this is probably the most satisfying third-person combat I've had in a list. It's simple too, because you're not messing with different stances or anything. You got one option, and it's a really good option. Now we've been doing dual wield for a while now. Let's go back to two-hander. Riverwood, really lush as it usually is, but of course modified to make it more lush, but really cool. And then you got over here, these are added assets to the game too. What are these, like alien ruins? Are we gonna see some rain? Is that rain? Let's throw some rain into the mix, huh? Something's going on with the not doing damage sometimes, so that needs to be looked at. So satisfying. Once you get the power attack button registered, it's so satisfying to use the power attacks. Yeah, our skin is wet. The helmet's wet from the rain. The rocks are wet. Okay, wait, I got some Sky Islands actually, after all. The one up there. Alright, so this area was really rough on a couple lists. So let's see how it holds up. Oh, Vigilance of Stendar. Let's see how their armor looks. Oh, I like that. I like this armor. This one right here? That's nice.
The Vigilant of Stendar can help you, as long as you promise to never assist the Daedra.
I like her armor.
None escape the Vigilant. All come into the light.
This right here, this rain and the wet armor and the high resolution textures and everything, this looks like a game like a next gen game. Not even a current gen game. This is like a next gen game. This right here is like a perfect shot. One of those shorts from TNS where he's like walking like, this is next gen Skyrim. This is Wunduniik. This is one of those moments from his videos. Nice. We can test out the horses. Yeah, not the best horse selection. You see the back legs are really stiff on this mod. And the horse is just so narrow that it just doesn't... I would use the one from Apostasy. That one is still yet to be probably the best horse mod. But even just the vanilla, like a retexture of the vanilla horse is even better than that, I think. I don't know why I don't know why they would go for that one. Are you yelling for help? Are you just walking? Is that you? No, someone else, huh? Yeah, not too bad. I mean, we're in the mid-30s performance, but it feels pretty smooth over here. Man, the graphics look really good in this forest, particularly with the rain coming down. It's very realistic looking. This EMB is like really hitting hard right now. Really impressive. So we got 2 minutes left. But we're going to push it a little further and we're going to make it to Markarth because that's the next major city. with the overhauls that this list uses, I'm sure Markarth is worth checking out too. Markarth, like, oftentimes has a really, like, majestic approach as you approach it, like this, like, lost dwarven city. So I want to see it. Right here, all of this greenery, man, this is so good. And then these stones here that aren't normally here. And these little lanterns hanging. Really good. Now you got like these super drenched floors. The floors look so soaked right there. This is kind of a harsh transfer though, right here, the seam here.
All right, hand over your valuables, or I'll gut. Don't you walk away from me.
Alright, we'll try out some of that armor too. See how it looks. Oh, we gotta do some one-handed plus shield combat. Alright, let's do that. Alright, there's my 2-hour timer. If I had to give a verdict right now, if I'm gonna shut it off and return it, if it was a Steam game, I would not. I would keep it. I would definitely keep it, man. These graphics are like, I don't know, man. Arguably the, in a lot of areas, some areas it's like okay, I guess, but in a lot of areas, especially that forest, like, I almost want to say it's the best graphics I've ever seen in a mod list. And that's saying a lot, because, I mean, oftentimes I'll get that feeling with Apostasy. And then I've gotten that feeling a few times looking at Novus too.
You have a death wish then? Come and face the Forsworn.
I mean, it should, I mean, the graphics should be pretty dang top notch though, considering the performance we're getting out of this. It's justifiable. It's better than poor performance and poor graphics though. Alright, we'll do first person combat with the dog, or with the wolf here. Yeah, of course, and can't hit him. Can't do it, man. That was nice. Man, that third person combat is so satisfying. It's the exact opposite of what I'm feeling about the first person combat. switch it up. Let's switch it up. Let's use the axe on the next one. So one-handed weapons do 50% more damage, and critical strikes one-handed weapons do 2% more critical damage per level of one-handed. Wow, okay, 2%, so 2 times my level. So I'm level 35. So 70% critical damage.
I don't have time for this foolishness.
Alright, let's test our combat with these guys. So good. Makes me wish I could implement this BFCO into my main list I'm playing, which is like an older version of Apostasy, but it's so intertwined with stance system with the perk tree and everything that it would destroy the whole list if I did it, if I swapped it out. Alright, let's change the weather up a little bit. Let's do overcast. No. Let's try fog and rain. What the hell is that? I'm not sure how I feel about that one. Overcast for the reach. Storm rain tundra. Okay, look at that. Now it's really coming down. Look, this guy is soaked. It looks more wet now that it's raining harder. I don't know if that's just me, but... Let's see, this guy look wet too? Oh, what's going on with the textures here? Oh, there we go. It popped in now. Alright. Oh, that downpour kind of just stopped suddenly, huh? What else we got? And a light rain. the way the fire sounds, really good. Again, nice attention to detail on that. I'm at 15 FPS. This is pretty bad out here. These guys are mad because I attacked the, They must be mad because I attacked the... What do you call those guys? Wait, the prisoner. The red guards. Alright, well, we're almost to Markarth. Hopefully they just take me to prison and then I can just serve my time there and then... yeah. We can look at it. Finish off the video there. Yeah, like those waterfalls again. Really, really strong, loud waterfalls. Really cool.
All right, prisoner. There, you got it?
So, with the UI here, I think there's some issues going on. Particularly, unintended issues, meaning... So, you see all the subtitles kind of going to the left here. It's not really centered with this person's name. That's one thing. But then also over here... There's an area where I think this person's name is supposed to be here. And this information that's... these subtitles are dropping down over here instead of staying here. So what I'm thinking is supposed to happen is they're trying to do like... What is it? Elder Scrolls Online. I think they selected that option for the installer for Velden UI. But then maybe try to do something custom and brought those two elements down here instead. Or it's unintentionally happening here when it's supposed to stay up there, which is leaving this kind of awkwardly blank.
All right, open her up. Now you, get down there.
All right. And there's different kinds of ways you can rearrange Velden UI as well. I personally use it on the list that I play full time, and I arranged it in a way that I prefer it, which looks different than this. Okay, so Markarth. Oh, we got a courier. He wants to deliver something. He's not gonna catch me though. We're gonna play tag. We're gonna play tag while exploring the city. Alright, so that's the blacksmith. He's gonna go around the other way. And then... Yeah, this is a really, really nice Markarth. Really clean textures. Bright too. Usually it's more dreary looking. Kind of bright. The wall there has more detail than usual. In fact, that wall's not normally that high. So this is a modded Markarth in that sense too. You can usually see over the wall. true Skyrim discovered. That's interesting. I don't know what that is supposed to mean. Did the courier give up? Is he still chasing me? Oh, he's right there. He's coming. He's not gonna get me. We're gonna finish this review before he can get me. There he is. You see him? He's like, damn it. Just stop running. Come on. We're testing his AI out to see how smart he is to get to me. Even my follower can't get to me. He kind of gave up. They're kind of looking at each other, which is kind of weird. Almost there. Oh, oh. No, 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 no. Playing tag. Alright, let's go look at the Temple of Talos. That's usually got a good representation of the lighting systems at play in the list. I don't know why I keep saying to Skyrim though. I think that's unintentional. Ah, so they swapped out the Talos statue. Look at this. Who's this dude? That must be Talos as well, just a different interpretation of him. So the lighting's good in this list. I think it's less dramatic than some other lists. Other lists will have like this whole area in the middle completely dark because the light just doesn't reach that far. I want to look at the exterior of Markarth too. Because that's the entrance where we kind of get that experience. Plus I want to see how this high gate looks from outside. So let's go check that out. Oh yeah, look at those tall walls. Oh, the FPS is tanking out here though. I wonder if it's that thing. This last time on the last list I did, it was this little area. Damn, he caught up to me. Damn it.
Looks like that's it. Got to go.
That's convenient though, that you can just read it now. I think there's a more dramatic approach you could have towards approaching Markarth. Whether it's maybe not the morning, maybe like right here like this, but on a not that one. Yeah, maybe something like that. It kind of makes it more dramatic looking. .3 FPS though, that's pretty rough. All right, we're gonna wrap it up at the Silverblood Inn, like we usually do when we get to Markarth at the end of a video. Okay, we're back. So, the game has a repeatable crash at Silverblood Inn. Every time you enter it, it crashes. So, I'm not gonna count every attempt. I've done it twice so far, and it crashed. So, but if you count a repeated crash over and over again, against a score is kind of a dick move. So I'm just gonna count it once as the crash there, and then the second time that it crashed, basically
Got something I'm supposed to deliver.
these couriers keep coming at me.
Looks like that's it.
Or maybe that's the same one from earlier. I don't know. So we're just gonna wrap up the video outside, and we're gonna go over the final verdict here. Okay, so performance. I think performance is a little rough around the edges. Again, you can make those adjustments as you want on the initial setup, the custom setup config, or whatever you want to call it, the custom setup part on MO2 when you first open it after installing the list. I would say take your time and go through that really carefully and under the consideration of what your hardware is, because otherwise you're gonna have to just delete the whole thing except for the downloads folder like I did, and then reinstall it again and to get that window to pop up again. So performance, I'll rate that accordingly. Combat, I would say combat is 50-50 for me. Okay, so combat is not very good in first person in my opinion, on this list, and it's because in my opinion Sigma animations is just it's not very good. It's just, yeah, it is what it is. The hitboxes are just janky, and the swinging is a little over engineered, the style of swinging, and it's just doesn't feel right. But third person combat was amazing. Aside from the flashy slashes and all that, the For Honor BFCO is top notch. I love it. If I could just take that and put it into my other list that I'm playing, I'd be super happy. Visuals are like top notch visuals. I would say this is up there with top tier, as good as it gets graphics for Skyrim. So it's gonna join the league of all the other ones that made it to this point, but it's gonna be a 5 out of 5 for graphics. Stability though, it had, let's summarize here. So they had the first person issue in the beginning, where I had to restart it. That's half a point, so it brings it down to 4.5. Okay, and then it froze going into Dragonsreach, right? So that brings it to a 3.5, because it's just as if it's a crash. You can't do anything except restart the game. And then Silverblood Inn, it crashed. So that brings the score down for stability. I hate to say it, but it brings it to a 2.5. But it needs to be truthful. These reviews need to be truthful, because it won't be constructive enough to make this list as great as it could be if these things aren't pointed out and revealed. So I think those things weren't a look over. I think Alexush, I don't know how to exactly to pronounce his name, but I've been talking to that guy for a long time, and he's a great modlist author, a great modder, or a great mod author as well. And I'm sure he'll take this the right way, and it just needs to be a constructive so that he can go back and fix those parts. As far as Sigma though, that's a preference thing, you know. So that's not like that's not something wrong with the list. I'm talking about the crashes where they happened, and maybe looking at performance, somehow improving it in some way in the areas that I went through on the video. You can see. But as usual, the scores on the screen, and if you do like this type of video and you want to see more of it, check out the videos that pop up at the end of the screen at the end of this video. We have a Discord if you want to check out the Discord and join. Otherwise, I appreciate you guys watching Skyrim Marathon, and I'll catch you guys on the next run.